Kyshona.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so happy to be here with y'all.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you're here.
That's
you
a
have
great
you have an incredibly listenable, I just made up that word, but I like it, voice.
I think that's a real word.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I could just listen to you forever, really.
Thank you.
It was like really lovely to sit back in my little corner and just listen to you do your thing. We were just talking about grits. Mm-hmm. Where are you from?
I'm originally from South Carolina.
South Carolina, okay.
And then I moved to Georgia for years, but now I live in Nashville,
Okay.
Tennessee. I've been there about 10 years now.
And what was the music scene like in South Carolina? Or would you say that you were more rooted in South Carolina or Georgia for your music kind of foundation?
Yeah, my music which one are we talking about, right? So when I was in South Carolina, I was in a whole other world. I'm a classically trained pianist and oboe player. So I majored in oboe and sitting in orchestras. So that, marching drum lines. So I was always in band camps or orchestra camps. I was an orchestra band kid, right? But I didn't pick up the guitar until I went to school for music therapy. I got my degree in music therapy, and we had to learn how to play multiple instruments. So that's when I picked up the guitar, playing for my patients. But I think I really got into the music scene when I moved to Atlanta. Just, open mics, just trying to use my voice, have an outlet,
Totally. I'm also a fellow band kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played trombone for, I don't know, years.
Bless you. I could not do brass instruments because that's all about the ear. And
Right.
with the trombone, how do you know where things are, No.
Well, you could ask my teacher. I didn't know very well. And I certainly stuck out. But I think it's interesting, too. Now I also write my own music and I sing. And obviously your voice is so, so wonderful. It's so beautiful. But we both played instruments that didn't allow us to use our voice so much.
Yeah.
What made you want to step into your vocal of it all?
I'll be honest, I had to start singing because I had to sing for my patients. So being a music therapist and all I could take into a room was just a guitar and my voice, I had to learn how to sing. And I had to be able to adapt my voice for whatever setting I was in. So if I was at a hospital bedside with a patient that was in the middle of passing away, then that's a soothing voice, right? But if I'm on a children's unit, or an adolescent unit, and we've just come in from, hanging out outside, it's going to be a little bit more rowdy and, a little more ruckusy. So I just learned how to use my voice in the therapeutic setting. And I don't know, it's funny, I hear old songs of mine and there's this sweet gentleness to it where now, I haven't been in a clinical setting in a while. So I'm just full on grit and,
Yeah, I like it both. What inspired you to go into music therapy?
I had an English teacher my junior year of high school, and she gave us all an assignment just to shadow someone that does something interesting in your town. And I think I had met another student at a cotillion thing, and he was like, if you want to do psychology, but you need to get a music degree, have you heard about the field of music therapy? So I mentioned this to my English teacher, and she helped me find one music therapist. We only had one in Columbia, South Carolina.
Wow.
And I went to a hospital and just watched this woman go room to room, in a hospital setting, just playing for patients, and just the joy that she brought when she walked into a patient's room, if they were in the middle of getting treatment, or if they were getting some kind of wound care, just something to distract them from the severity of what's happening in the moment, And I think seeing that, I was like, oh my gosh, I could actually do something healing with music. I don't have to stand in front of an orchestra and wave my hands and conduct. I can conduct the energy in this room while someone else is going through a very hard, traumatic time.
It takes a very special kind of person to be successful at that. So you got your degree, then you practiced as well?
Yeah, I had a practice. I ran internships. I did that for about a little over 15 years.
Wow. I
still am a licensed music therapist, but back in the late 1900s, nobody was talking about burnout. So I had to tap out for a while, and I tapped out and started just writing for myself, my own healing journey, how to let go of all the trauma I had witnessed, and carried for my patients, and started songwriting. And then slowly I've been roped back in to doing music therapy, on the road. I often tell my audiences, like, just so y'all know, I'll bill you later. This is still a music therapy session. I think that's how I got over like the stage fright, was saying to myself, everyone in this room has issues. So this is just a group therapy session. And I know how to do that, just to stand on a microphone and lead a therapy session. That's all, for me, that's all performing is. I don't see it as performing. It is holding space for what the audience might be carrying at that time. Yeah.
Totally. I really, really relate to that.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to hear that you say that. I am. What are some of the things that you pulled from the rooms that you would go in? You said you were in hospice care, dealing with children, all that stuff. Obviously, it's like a wide range of audiences that you had to deal with and a wide range of emotions you had to pull from. What are some stuff that you pulled from that into your songwriting once you stepped away from the practice?
I think the thing that I realized most is reading the room. The ability to walk into a space and be like, okay, this is the energy that's needed now. I can't come out the gate with a hard-hitting song about racism, right? Sometimes you got to like ease people into it.
Right.
So the ability to kind of read the room and shift a plan on the spot, the ability to, I think when as songwriters, we don't realize that most of the job on stage is the banter. Somebody said yesterday in a showcase, somebody said, a lot of singer-songwriters are also stand-up comedians because you have to have a bit, But I don't think of them as bits. For me, it's more of, all right, how can I connect these dots for you all? When you walk out of this room, what am I leaving you with? What tools have I given you, right? So, I'm moving around here, but music therapy, my definition of music therapy is the use of music to achieve non-musical goals. So when I'm standing on a stage, I'm not there to be an entertainer. My goals are, how can I be a voice for the voiceless? How can I provide someone with a reminder that they can lean on neighbors, they can have conversations with one another, they can start community small. When we're frustrated with the big picture, go small, turn to your neighbor and how can you help, this stranger next to you. So I think that's what I have brought into my performing from the songwriting world. Just knowing there's a bigger mission behind songwriting for me and performing.
You're a breath of fresh air. We kind of need some more Kyshona energy, I think, around here. Were you songwriting before you started therapy?
No.
No.
I mean, yes, on piano. I was just writing like piano songs.
Right.
And doing composition competitions, But no, I'd never written lyrics. The very first song I ever wrote was, my first job in Atlanta was working with young babies. Well, early intervention, so 0 to 3 years old, right? And I remember for a whole week I would have dreams about babies popping up around my bed, just, traumatic dreams. And I was like, I got to get this out. And I called my old supervisor from New York, and she recommended I go to a drum session, a drum circle, just like release all of this tension or whatever. And she also was like, or just try writing. And I said, I think the first song I wrote was called Be Still. That was my own lullaby to myself. That's my trauma with being a music therapist is what led me to songwriting.
It's kind of interesting how that works, right?
Yeah.
Who are some of the artists you'd say are inspirational to you from a writing standpoint? Who are some of the people you grew up listening to?
Our house was weird. We had a lot of, my father plays in gospel quartets. So I grew up listening to a lot of the Winans, a lot of old gospel quartet music, Mighty Clouds of Joy and the Canton Spirituals. But I also loved TLC and Shania Twain, and Guns N' Roses, So inspirational for me as songwriters, though, I think I'm a big fan of Nina Simone because she tells the truth. There is a purpose behind every lyric. And I love when you watch old videos of her, you see the anger. And I'm like, if there's anywhere to put these emotions, it's on a stage where other people can witness it and be like, oh yeah, I feel that too, you know. When people see you viscerally having a reaction with words and singing these songs, I feel like they're like, great, I'm not alone. I also feel that, and you have just emoted it the way I didn't have words for, you know. Today, though, my favorite songwriters are honestly my friends. And they're songwriters maybe not a lot of people know. Maya Sharp, which I'm sure people know. Maya Sharp, Mary Bragg, Chris Matthews, Reese Palmer, Ruthie Foster. These are all women who say something deeper with their music. And I just aspire to be like them. Love songs are great, you know? And I think there are so many amazing, beautiful love songs out in the world. But I also feel like we need love songs for community, love songs for our society, reminders of what we can be if we don't pay attention to the noise, you know? Just listen to that little voice that's like, that's wrong, you know, or you know what's right. Yeah, any kind of music that's around those themes.
I really am glad that you're here. I'm glad that your energy's here. I think it's good stuff to have in the scene. I do, especially coming from like the, dare I say, the LA-ic.
Yeah.
This is very refreshing. Very much is. And I'll give you my address. You can send me the invoice.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll work it all out. Kyshona, thank you so much for being here today. I think that we're all in the room better now that you came through.
Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate you.
Hey, stunning people. If you're loving our music, make sure to give us a like and a subscribe. And comment below who you want to see next.